Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 112 of A Double and Dice. And today, it's not just myself, but it's also not Jocelyn here with me either. She's off doing something called vacationing. I don't know about that. But I do have a special guest today. And we're going to talk about a suggestion that actually came through an email from Adam, who's one of our listeners. And I brought an expert on to talk to me about this subject because he's great with board games. And his name is Matt, aka Jordo.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Of our-
I was gonna say you got an expert, so I guess I gotta go. I'll come back later.
The boss man of dmNorthTV.
Yeah.
I guess we would call you that, the boss man.
Thank you for having me, and pleasure. I'll try to fill Jocelyn's shoes as best I can.
Yeah, you'll do fine. So our topic today is we're gonna tie in a board game with Dice Masters, and I gave Matt a heads up so he knows. But it's a game we actually started playing, and then we actually made it into our Monday night gaming now. So we play this game every second Mondays in the month, and that game is called Dice Throne. Matt, do you want to give people your one word of how you describe Dice Throne?
2 words?
Or is it 2 words?
2 words. It's Battle Yahtzee.
There you go.
You can hyphenate it, make it 1 word. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I thought you were gonna say it's Yahtzee, but now I'm like,
No,
yeah,
it's
you're
Battle
right.
Yahtzee.
It's Battle
It's-
Yahtzee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dice Throne is considered a board game. It is a dice rolling game. How Dice Throne puts it, and I want to say it because to me it's kind of funny how they put it on their website. Ready?
Yes.
Dice Throne is a heart-pumping, fast-playing game of skilled card play and dice manipulation that will have your game nights cheering. I don't know if we're heart-pumping when we play.
I don't think so. I'm never that. I'm never that engaged in the game. I guess maybe I'm playing it wrong.
I don't know. I don't know about that. But we have tons product of this game.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. So we'll get into how this game kind of like plays. So it's, as Matt said, it's a battle Yahtzee game. So you're rolling dice, you're doing things, you're attacking, you're defending, you have cards. And we're going to try to tie that in of how Dice Master is compared to it as well, and how it kind of relates, and is it similar, is it not? They both have dice in the name, so point there. And Throne and Master sound almost the same. So,
They both use
Who knows?
cards.
right.
Yeah.
So you can play up to as many players as you want in this because it's mostly 1 versus 1. So you just play against each other, picking a character, which we'll get into. You can also play teams. You can play 2 versus 2. You can play what's it called? King of the Hill.
Yeah, where you could go like it's 3 players, so it's 1v1v1. There's 3 versus 3, I think.
Yeah.
I would only play it 1v1.
Yes, because we've played it where
Multiple
it was 3
ways.
of us. Yeah, and you just always beat up on one person.
I think we even played a 2v2 once, and it was all right, but
Yeah.
the 1v1 is where it shines. So it's a good dueling game, just like Dice Masters.
Yeah. So we've been playing mostly 1 versus 1 on our nights, and the good thing is we've been getting an even not odd of players, so that works out well. Now the product had 2 seasons, and within a season they have 8 characters. 8?
Yes.
6? 8.
I think the first season originally only had 6.
6 added
And
on.
then they
2,
added
right?
in the Treant and Ninja.
Something. Yeah.
They got added in later.
And then they made a season 2, which added another 8 characters. And these characters are very unique because they're not characters as we know as Marvel characters, DC characters.
Oh, they're all over the place. There's everything.
Yeah, that we know of in Dice Masters. So They didn't really go by IP per se, how they go in Dice Masters. So they kind of had their own artists who actually created all these characters um, at the beginning, and then Roxley bought them over.
I don't think season 2 was. I think Roxley was season 2.
Was it? Yeah, but not season 1. The
No,
original
no, it was.
was a different company.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of it right now.
So not coming to my head either. And then I believe Roxley took it over.
Yes.
And then since then, they revamped their first ever one. They kind of recreated it. And then they had season 2. So it's been under the Roxley umbrella since.
A Canadian company.
Yes, Roxley's a Canadian company. And I believe they're stationed in Alberta, are they not?
I believe they are local to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great company. We like their board games.
I have not played a bad Roxley game.
No, they're fantastic. Like I would always tailor to them when games come out. It's one of a pretty good company, pretty good publisher. So they started off very unique characters, unique cards. They have abilities, and then they're obviously unique dice as well per character. Then they got an IP.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I would say maybe 2-3 years ago. Not too long ago.
I'm trying to sneakily look for the copyright.
Okay, while you're looking, the IP they got was Marvel. Okay, so now if we're comparing Dice Masters,
2022.
There you go. So actually, yeah, a year and a bit ago. So they had Marvel. That also came out with 8 characters, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. And then they recently, which is coming out this year from Kickstarter, is another.
Should be August if all things go according to
8
plan.
8 characters?
I believe it's. Well, I think it might be
X-Men.
9.
Okay. Yeah. Plus Deadpool. Yeah. So there's 8 X-Men characters plus Deadpool because he's by himself.
Yeah, he's
He's
Deadpool.
not in a box or anything. He's just by himself. So they've definitely expanded, across since the beginning. There's a lot.
Yes.
So we obviously needed to play these things, so we started making it an actual night to play this. So Jeff's question, Adam's question. I don't know where Jeff came from. I don't know. Anyways, Adam's question was, have we ever played Marvel dice-based games? And he said X-Men Mutant something. I've never heard. I've heard of the board game. I've never played it. X-Men Mutant something. I can't remember it off my head. Or a variety of dice throne games. So that kind of went off. I'm like, well, we play that, so let's do an episode about it. And of course, you play Matt, so that's why you're the expert. And so he wants to know, how do we compare it to Dice Masters? So, and is there anything that Dice Masters can take from Dice Thrones and incorporate it into our game? So I guess start with dice. It is just like Dice Masters.
They're both dice games. I mean, Dice Masters is a dice building game where you start with crap and you build your sidekicks, and you build yourself up to better and better dice that do different things. Dice Throne, you got your dice right at the beginning. You only have 5 dice.
So they're already unique, and they have symbols that pretty much, which we'll get into, as you roll, you build on something.
Yeah, so you're always rolling maximum dice in Dice Throne, and like I said, Dice Masters, you're cycling your dice. So that's a fundamental difference there. But I mean, you're both of them. You're doing the same thing. You're trying to attack your opponent. You're trying to cause damage. That's same.
Yeah. So as you roll your dice in Dice Throne, you have a character board. On your character board, there's a whole bunch of abilities, and we can say those abilities can relate to card abilities in Dice Masters.
Yeah.
It's not like in Dice Masters, it's per character based on any type of IP, but in Dice Throne, it's one certain character that you're playing, and their variety of abilities.
Yeah, like I've got Miles in front of me, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. and his character card has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different attacks and 2 different defensive abilities. Some characters have static abilities that are always in effect. So it kind of mixes things up based on the character and what they're kind of going for thematically.
Yeah, and I think they do well with that.
I think so. They all feel like what they're supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, even at the unique characters that are like made up, but they're made up. They're not from Marvel or anywhere else. They do fit their theme, I guess. So there's like the tree guy, probably, and you've played the tree guy. I haven't.
I've played the tree guy,
who has different abilities. There's this robot guy, which you also played recently, and he.
And I found out I played it completely wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes. I found that out, so okay. I might have to try that one again.
Try it again.
Yeah.
All right, see what we went wrong. Like I played a ninja the other day, and she pretty much had abilities of stabby, and things like that. What a ninja would do. So they have a whole bunch of varieties, and if I remember, there's about 7 of them on that board, plus their defense.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on the character. Like some of them
have 6 to 7.
Yeah, 6. I'd say 6 to 7 offensive abilities. There's always at least 1 defensive ability. Some characters have more than 1, and some characters just have an ability that's just throughout the whole game happens, like at the beginning of the turn or something like that.
I think they call that a passive ability.
Yes.
Yeah. So it could be 6 to 7 depending if they have a passive, and then they have 1 ability which is actually their defense rolls. So in Dice Masters, you attack with your dice, and then you defend with your dice. Same pretty much in Dice Throne. You roll your dice. You try to line up your symbols on your dice to your abilities on the board. So on the board, there's all these different symbols that match up to certain abilities. So you have 3 rolls to get pretty much what you want. They all have this ability called their ultimate. So if you roll
Yahtzee.
Yeah, rolling like 1 in 6 chance of getting 5 dice that land on the same thing. Well, there's things to do, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
And you have your ultimate ability, which can do major damage or whatnot. So you deal your damage just as you do in Dice Masters, and then your opponent has an opportunity to defend. Which they too are rolling dice. Then you roll dice and see what happens with your defensive ability. As in Dice Masters, you line up your dice, who you're blocking, and then you do one-on-one attack and defense and things like that. As a Dice Masters, you're killing off your dice, really, right? But as in Dice Throne, not really doing that. You're just kind of defending or whatnot, your attack coming at you. Pretty much, you would say, right? Did I miss anything on that?
Oh, that sounds pretty bang on.
Straightforward, yeah. So that's a little bit different on how it attacks between the two, but very similar mechanics. You have an attack, you have a defense. Now, as we said, the abilities on the board are like your cards in Dice Masters, which you have max 8. You can go up to 8. But there's also a deck of cards that comes with your Dice Throne character.
Yeah, this is I think where things are. Well, I think it's where it kind of differs quite a bit.
Yeah. So these cards could be. There's a few that are the same across all characters, but there's very unique ones specific to your character in the deck. So you can't mix and match. Really, you can't.
Each deck is like the character comes with the deck.
Yeah.
And you can't. You're not building your deck. You're playing with whatever you got. And I think, like you said there, Kim, there's like, I want to say it's like 18 common cards across characters.
I actually never counted it.
I'm counting miles right now.
Live on the spot, people. We will give you the answer.
I think it's 18.
Pulled out a character. I did not.
Yeah, so these are the same throughout. All the characters have these same cards, and these are basic cards that will... This is where your manipulation comes into play, like your dice manipulation, because like any other dice game, sometimes the dice hate you and you can't roll what
Yep.
you
Yep.
want, and you need that 5, or you need that 6, or you need that spider symbol or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And to get it, there's cards that will allow you to re-roll outside of your
Mm-hmm.
normal re-rolls. There's dice that or cards that will let you just create whatever number you want. There's dice to screw with your opponent too. Sorry, dice. There's cards to screw with your
Yeah.
opponent. So if they roll something that's really they've rolled their ultimate ability and you're about to die, you can make them re-roll something, or you can change one of their dice, and then they're very angry at you. Things like that. So it's interactions between the players, between the dice, and the basic cards do a lot of that stuff. The unique cards are more related to the attacks of the character, I think, including like upgrades of abilities and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. I think you can upgrade your ability. So you're looking at Miles. So I don't know. Does he have someone with web shooters? I have no idea.
Yeah, he did have something webby.
Yeah, so you can like play a card to upgrade that, but you just can't just play it. You
You got
actually do have something called combat points.
I believe they're called combat points. CP is what they refer to it as.
Which you start your turn with drawing a card and gaining a CP. You start the game usually with 2 and a 50 life. Well, Dice Masters, you have to get them down from 20 down. So
Yeah,
you're trying to, same thing, you're getting them from 50 down. And you start with 2 CP, and that's kind of your cost to purchase, or not really purchase, but to
to
play your
play.
cards in hand.
Yeah,
And I've never seen anything 4, but they can go from 0 to 3. I honestly have not seen anything 4 cost.
I don't think there is a 4 cost. I've seen a few 3s. But again, I haven't looked at all the characters, so maybe there's something there. But I think 3 is kind of your high end.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we've played a few times now.
No, there was a
Oh,
paladin
there
one that was
was?
very
Oh, okay.
expensive, and I was shocked when he played it. I'm like, how much?
So if it's higher cost, you hope
It,
it's a pretty darn good card.
usually that's the way it is. The higher cost things tend to be a little bit better. Like upgrades tend to be 2 for most upgrades. That's just to get you a better attack.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can upgrade your abilities. Cards can also give you attack modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
So as in Dice Masters, there's certain character abilities that buff, or certain, as we call them, global abilities that can help buff your characters. Well, there's cards that can buff your attack. When it comes to it, and playing those cards strategically is where I'm not there yet. I find that I hardly play cards, and I'm trying to really grasp the concept of playing those
I
cards.
feel the cards are the biggest part of the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to know when to use it. There's cards called instant cards where you can use any time during the game. There's no specific um, phases that you have to use it in. Like, you can just use it anytime you want. So you can really screw up your opponent, really, if they're trying to do something. Like, nope. So you can play it and pretty much stop them um, from getting to their ultimate, or stopping them from doing a certain thing, or make them reroll and things like that. So the cards are big, and I'm really trying to use those. As I play more, I'm really trying to use them well and effectively, because they do make a big difference in play, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So there's the deck of cards, and I think that's really it when it comes to Dice Throne. I don't think we really missed anything else. But yeah, you just play, and you're pretty much getting the person's down health, as in Dice Masters, down, and then you pretty much win. And that's the same in Dice Masters. So I mean, they're fairly the same but different as well.
Yeah.
They have the same concept. There's like certain things, if you really pinpoint, oh, this could be this in Dice Masters and this could be this, and how it is in Dice Throne. But do you think there's anything that Dice Masters can benefit from Dice Throne?
I don't think so. Like, even though they're a dice card battling game, they're different enough in their mechanics that it's. I mean, the only thing I'd say about like the Dice Throne is, I mean, you buy a box and you've got two characters that you can play against each other right out of the box, which is something I always wished that Dice Masters had, like a team pack or a battle box. That would have been something that was cool.
Like almost like a campaign box.
Yeah, but just a team box.
Yeah,
just two teams battling against each other.
Oh yeah, like a pre-built.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never actually thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do like about the game. You don't need to own everything. You can literally buy a small box of two characters, and that's plenty. Like you need to play the characters multiple times before you actually know how they work. It's.
I mean, I have so much that I'm trying to play every character once.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been playing the same one over and over and over again to really get the gist of it. I've just been trying all of them.
Yeah.
And I guess in the same sense as Dice Masters, you could have one team that you're always playing. Or, you mix it up, right?
Well, that is the exact same thing. Like to play a team well in Dice Masters, you have to practice with it. As much as I joke about not practicing and just winging it, to do it well, you do need to know what you need to buy, when you need to buy it. What do you do if this happens? What do you do if this happens? I mean, same concept with Dice Throne. I mean, okay, you roll terribly. How do you get yourself out of it? Can you get yourself out of it? A lot of times you can't. Like, like when you roll nothing and you have no cards to help you.
Yeah. But both are enjoyable. I do definitely like Dice Throne. I'm a sucker for dice rolling games, so anything that has dice rolling, I'm on it.
Yeah, I fell in love with season 1 of it. Like when I bought the pre-Roxley version, and then heard about season 2 afterwards. I went, oh, okay, there's more of this.
And now we have too much.
Yeah, now we have too much, and then they've broadened it into Adventures, which is like a co-op version. The X-Men one's bringing out Missions, which is the same thing as Adventures, just Marvelized.
Yep. So that was actually my next point. So they've taken their product, which is a 1 versus 1, and kind of made it into an actual, like, taking the characters but making it into almost a board game.
Yeah.
Adventures is like a dungeon crawl, I guess you can say.
It's totally a dungeon crawl, and that's I think we've played that once so far, and it was enjoyable.
And then you can use any character that you have available to you. You don't have to use specific ones to the game, if I remember.
No, you can do whatever you want.
So that was Adventures. So they kind of like twisted into an actual board game, but using characters that you already own.
Yeah.
And then there was Missions, which you might have to speak to it, because I didn't actually back it, so I don't remember what the concept was.
I think it was kind of a simplified version of Adventures, is the way I looked at it.
Okay.
Because the Adventures had a lot of fiddly stuff, because you got to build the dungeon with the tiles, and lots of cards here and there. So I think they simplified it. It looks like they simplified it. Again, the game's not out yet.
Yeah.
That's not out till the summer.
Yeah. So they've kind of twisted that into like a board game, which I think Dice Masters. What the heck? Dice Masters. Oh, I already hate the game because I already have Maskers. I mean, could they adopt something like that? I mean, WizKids does have a board game
They have a board game division.
Division. Can
I'm
you
not
make Dice Masters into a board game? I don't
No,
know.
I don't know that you can. Like I know people have played campaigns,
Okay.
campaign games where you're like kind of sending your maybe it was a D&D team and you're going and doing a D&D adventure. So you're kind of using the same team going through their different scenarios. Um, People have played comic book storylines. They'll do that. So I mean, it's still at its core, it's Dice Masters. Even as a board game, when it was Quarriors, it was still just dice battling. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
it wasn't really, you weren't really doing anything different. You were still attacking the other players. So I don't think there's a cooperative version of Dice Masters. I know there was supposed to be, but
Yeah.
it never happened.
I mean, I'm wondering if you have it like you have a big baddie or something, right? Like a big
Well,
boss of
they
some
had
sort.
talked about that. That was during the COVID times. There was
Okay.
what was it? The Fantastic Four versus Galactus was supposed to be a thing,
That's something like that. Yeah.
and everyone was excited about that because we couldn't do anything. We couldn't play with anyone. So we thought, oh, we could do a solo version where we're fighting the big bad, and nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Maybe it didn't. Who knows? Didn't
I know
pan out or whatnot.
I know we've tried like locally when our scene was kind of going. We did have some variants where we made like a big bad or a third, like not a computerized player, but a game controlled player that was there to kind of make our lives miserable, and it it was all right, but it was just
Mhm.
basically having a third player in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as for looting and searching for things,
Mm, it might
it's
not work.
tougher. It's
Yeah.
tougher with the mechanics of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a little different. It's more like you're kind of playing, but instead of attacking your opponent, you would be attacking this big boss.
Yeah.
And maybe they have unique dice or a certain deck that they go through or something like that.
Well, that's what that's what Adventures does because
Yeah.
we only did the first part of it, the dungeon crawl part. Then there's a boss battle, which we never got
Yes.
to.
I honestly cannot remember this game. Like I'm having I'm trying to remember how it went, but
It was a while ago. It
it
was a
was
while
like
ago.
I'm gonna say like when it just came out or something like that, or when because you didn't get it
Uh,
through Kickstarter, you purchased it.
no, I got it at it was the Calgary Games Con last year. I got
Okay.
it because Roxley had a booth there, so I decided to spend some cash with them. But I think it
Okay.
had been out for a while before that because I think it was part of the Kickstarter for season 2, or was it a separate thing?
I think it was season 2. I am in Board Game Geek, and let me see if they have it here. We can give it year. Yeah, of course not. Dice Throne, because I just looked up the general Dice Throne, which usually lists all their products on the thing. Adventures 2020.
Okay,
So it's been around.
yeah, a
It's been
few
around.
years.
So a few years, and now they made missions. So it's probably just their next one installment, right? Because Dice Throne Adventures is a one-off. There was never any expansions or anything like that to add on to the
No,
game.
no.
And I guess missions
I
is
feel Missions is just their superhero version of Adventures.
yeah, yeah. But I think you can use the Marvel characters in Adventures. I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can use whatever you want in
yeah,
Adventures, and I
yeah.
assume you could actually use whatever you want in Missions too. So if you want to take your ninja into the Hydra base, go for it.
Exactly. Um, Other than that, um, I can't think of anything that Dice Masters could adapt from.
No, the only thing that I think they could adapt from it is product wise, is
Hmm.
creating something where it's, you know, you go to the store, you buy this box,
Yep.
and two people can play right out of the box. It's got everything you need, all the cards, all the dice for two people. Have fun, and then go buy more stuff.
Yeah. So, for Dice Throne, you can buy 2 characters in one box.
Yes.
Or if I believe only through the Kickstarter you can get the fancy big box. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
I
that
think
was
most
retail.
of the like I remember season 1 originally was just a box of 6 characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the re-rolled version of it, where they broke them into individual boxes of 2, and they added 2 more characters. So season 1 became 8 characters, but they were all like a box of 2 characters in each box. Season 2 had a base. No, they were all individuals as well. Season 2. You could buy the big fancy box, but I have all the individual boxes. But they were again pairs of characters in different boxes, and I think total of 8 characters again. Then there was the Santa Krampus set, which was
Yes, I forgot about that one.
a Christmas one-off, which
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
cool. And then X-Men, it has I think a base. Oh, sorry, Marvel. The first Marvel Dice Throne had a base box of, was it 4 characters?
Yes.
And then 2 boxes of 2 characters.
Yep.
I think that sounds about right. I think they did the same thing with X-Men. A base box of, is it a base box of 4, or are they all in one box? I forget about X-Men.
Maybe it's, yeah, I forget about X-Men too. I want to say 6 for some reason, but I could be wrong.
And then Deadpool, he's literally the only Dice Throne character that is by himself. He has no partner, which I think is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, they did some fun stuff with him. It'd be interesting to play him as a character.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if we play all Deadpool versus Deadpool versus Deadpool.
That might be messy.
It'd be chaotic, just like him.
Yeah.
But yes, and as they also released like what do you call it? Play mats, just like, you know what I mean? Like they have all these accessories for all these for all
Oh
their
yeah, and then they've
games,
got
and
plastic tokens if you want to get into
yeah,
that.
if you
And
want to get up, accessorize your things, you can go from, and the cardboard's not bad. It's pretty
no,
thick, but
their
you can,
quality again. I'm probably one of the. I will never say a bad thing about Roxley ever, but their production quality is top notch. Like they don't cheap out on stuff.
yeah. The dice are nice. They're nice. They're colored. They're marble, or they're a little bigger than dice master dice.
Yeah, they're nice and
Um,
chunky.
yeah, and they're good for rolling, and they have indent, like it's nice on them. And I think that's easier and better for them to do quality wise, because they're not making mass productions of it as in dice masters, right? Like you're making how much Deadpool dice, you know what I mean? You're making how
Yeah,
much X. These ones you're only making 5 per character.
yeah.
So they can really, get really nice with them.
The quality control is probably a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And their cards, I mean, the art on their cards, plain and simple. As I said, I like the new revamped art in Dice Masters. I like the facelift of it. Dice Throne is very simple. They have a picture, a text. Their borders are different colors based on your phases that you're doing in the game. But very straightforward.
Yeah.
Simple, has the cost.
The only thing that I have an issue with Dice Throne is the damage. Because there's like 12 different types of damages they got listed there. It's like, oh my god, guys, make it simple.
The undefended, defended, collateral, ultimate,
Pure.
I don't think I've ever come across pure.
I don't know if I've ever seen pure either, but it's listed in there.
Yeah,
but it's the only well, there's a few confusing parts, but I mean that's probably one of the most confusing parts. I got to keep looking up all the time, going, oh, can I defend against this or not?
Yeah, I always have the chart up from
the
rule book up on my thing, and it tells you if you could avoid it, if you can use cards against it, if you can use your like effects against it. It's yeah, I would say it is confused, either defendable or undefendable.
Yeah.
And then you have your ultimate. Fine, there's 3. But I don't know what pure is, and collateral. I don't know any of those difference. I haven't come across them. to look them up to see what they actually do
Yeah.
yet. So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully, anything else to add on your end?
No, like comparing the two games, it's hard because
Yeah.
they're mechanically so different.
Yeah.
Like the only similarity to Dice Masters is they use the Marvel IP.
Yeah.
And you're rolling dice and using cards. But otherwise, I think they're completely different games. But if you like rolling dice and you don't have any Dice Masters to roll right now, there's a lot of dice thrown out there, and it's easy to pick up, and it's not that expensive to get a couple cheap characters.
No, and if I remember, a box of 2 characters is what, about $20 to $25, something
Canadian,
like that.
yeah, not
Canadian.
that expensive.
Yeah,
and if you don't even know if you like this game, you want to try it. There's actually 2 characters you can just print and play off the Roxley website, I believe.
Yep, and we have those copies as well. So if you're ever in our Discord and you want to play, hit us up. We can send you the link, probably to their site. And all you need is 5d6s.
Yeah,
and it's just number and what the symbol is. So really easy to proxy. I mean,
I thought that was really smart about Roxley to do that, because I mean, it's to give someone a way to play your game without paying a penny.
Yeah,
that's great. And then if they like it, awesome. Here's all the stuff you can buy.
Yeah, it's what you probably call good marketing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that something that Dice Masters can take from Dice Throne? Marketing?
Get the minute free, and they gave away good characters, I believe.
Pretty simple characters. There's that's the thing with Dice Throne, is there's a wide range of characters. Some of them are super simple, and the nice thing is they actually, on the box, it tells you their complexity. So ones that'll play really straightforward, which are easy to learn, and then there's super complicated characters, which I think that Artificer, the one I just played wrong, was one of them.
Yep, he has a lot of robots and doing all these things, which supposedly Jordan did wrong. So.
Yes, I did wrong. Someone has corrected me on that. I'm going, oh, interesting. But it wouldn't be a board game if we didn't play it wrong, right?
That is true. Wow, I won in 2 seconds. Wow. You did it wrong. Oh, okay.
Well, I did it wrong and I still lost. So, I mean, I was cheating very poorly.
Yeah, there's which is good. Because that's a good variety, right? You don't want always the simplest character, because as you can start simple, build your skills up, keep going, and then try a harder character, right?
Yeah, and eventually you'll find a character that you just like and you'll play. Eventually someone will play Loki and you'll go, no, I never want to play this game again.
Yeah, we quickly banned that one.
That was a one and done. That guy made it into one gameplay and he was out.
Yeah, he's the only banned one right now. That we don't say, please don't bring Loki.
Yeah, Loki's a little too hardcore.
Yeah. And they do have Dice Throne tournaments.
Apparently in the US they do.
Yeah, US only from what we know.
They have organized play, which I don't know much about it because it's not available in Canada, so I didn't even really look into it.
Yeah, a Canadian company. Come on, guys.
I know. I wanted to kind of harass Roxley, going, guys, come on. Like, I could go to your door. Can I?
Yeah. So they do have competitive play.
Yes.
Of the game, if you're looking also for that. But there's so much in the game. And as I say, right now I'm playing every character. I'm not replaying characters to get to know it, really. I just want to play all the characters so I can say I actually played every single one of my characters that I own.
Yep.
Because I have them all. And yeah, it's just nice to get it on the table and play.
Yeah, and it's nice that we're playing it kind of, once a month right now.
Yep. Yeah.
So it gives you an opportunity to kind of play through them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's what do we say, 8?
8 in the
first
one,
season?
8 second one. Marvel, we'll have to double check. I can't really know if it's 6 or 8. Like, I can't remember.
The first Marvel is 8.
Okay, so then 8, 16. I can't do math.
24.
And then add Krampus and...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those two.
Santa. So that's 26. 6.
Yeah. So 26 that we currently have.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Available
then
right now.
coming is another 9
The
possibly if
9.
you bought it. Yeah.
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 Which I did not. I bought Deadpool.
Yeah, you bought Deadpool and missions. I got all the characters in Deadpool, but didn't get missions.
It was it's okay. That's the other thing with this game. It's a wonderful game. I do like it, but there's a point where you don't need any more of it.
Yeah.
Which is different than Dice Masters. You need more all the time.
I need it.
So I mean, this is you do kind of hit a fatigue a little bit earlier, and it's mostly just because there's so much stuff, and it does take up a lot of space on your shelf when you put all these little boxes together. It's a shelf hog.
Yeah, because I got the big box, and it's like it fits into like 2 of the big box fits into one of my slots thing, and then I have another one that has the Marvel one, and then the playmat and that and Santa. And I have to make room for another box that's coming.
Yep.
Deadpool. So
So
it is
love Roxley, love Dice Throne, but dear Lord, it's big.
Yeah. And it's obviously not a collectible like
Dice
Masters is. You're not collecting cards or anything like that. It's just, hey, I like this character, and if you really enjoy the game and you're going to be playing it often, you go and purchase more. So it's completely up to you, right? It's
and with when you mention collectability, like and stuff, I mean, they do Kickstarters for these all the time.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about Roxley is, as far as I know, for any of their games, the Kickstarter doesn't really, like, you get everything in the retail game, except like a promo card.
Yeah, no exclusives really. They already go out there for their quality of their stuff.
Yeah.
So it's already top par, and it's the same thing you'll get in retail.
Yeah, you don't need to back the Kickstarters. You can wait for retail.
Only really nice if you want the big box,
which isn't necessary. It's not
all your characters, because you're buying all the characters and fits into a big box. But other than that, yeah, you're right. It's easy to get in retail.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Adam, we answered your questions. Thank you for the suggestion. I think as we were joking around before, this may become a board game podcast because we were playing so much things outside of Dice Masters right now. But we appreciate your suggestion, and keep them coming if there's anything that you want us to talk about. If it is exactly what Adam said, how would you guys compare this to this? Have you played this? We'll chat about it if we've played it, and have our expert come on because he's played everything.
I have not. You'll need Nick for that one.
Yeah, that's true. Nick is the big board game guy. Definitely, if we ever have any of these again, we definitely would have guests on. I can't say I know every board game out there or anything like that. But yeah, this one really struck me because we do play Dice Throne, and I thought it'd be an interesting topic with comparing the two.
It plays good online.
Yes, that's another good one too. Dice Master is good online, and same as Dice Throne.
The exact same setup. There's another similar. Actually, that's a huge similarity.
Yeah. Same camera you use for Dice Masters, the exact same setup you will use for Dice Throne.
Yeah. Yep. So if you can play Dice Masters online, you can play Dice Throne online.
Yeah. And I think that works well for us when we are all across, that we can play together still. So good shout out. I completely forgot about that.
So did I, until you said something there, and I go, oh, wait a minute.
That's right. This is the same setup. Just need a camera and put it down to your board, and that's it. So anything else?
I don't think so. I hope it was somewhat helpful.
So if we really intrigued you about Dice Thrones, come on out.
We play it every second Monday.
Second Monday of the month. We just passed it for this month of April. You can join our Discord. It comes up as a calendar invite. You can, if you want some print and play characters and give it a try, let us know. We'll give you the link. It's really easy. If you have access to a printer, you can print all the cards, which we Did we get how much his cards was in there? I forget.
I don't know off the top of my head, and I've put miles away.
Yeah, so I can't remember, but it's not much. It's probably
No,
less
it's not
than
too many.
20 or something like that.
It might be maybe around 30.
Okay. And then you have something that counts your life and counts your combat points, your CP. You're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
And you can play it. And if you really enjoy it, you can purchase it. But yeah, so join our Discord. We have a Monday night gaming that we chat about. Also, other Monday night gaming, which happens the fourth Monday of, is Lorcana, which we'll probably be talk more about that at some point.
You got to get better at it though, because I still feel
Yes, I'm
very lost.
fairly a very noob at it, and I think once we start playing a little bit more, it's good, right? And then you can start building teams and things like that. But if that's all, thanks again, Adam, for your suggestion. I'm gonna do my best to do the ending here because Jocelyn always does the ending, and I'm probably gonna mess up something. But if you would like to reach out to us, you can email us at triple-d-podcast@dm-north.com. You can get us on Discord. I am at Super K. Jocelyn's at Josh Stitch. And if you want to bother Matt, he is at Jordo on Discord. If you go to our website at dm-north.com, we're on all the socials, which I won't name, but I'm pretty sure we're on all the socials. Facebook, X, TikTok. I don't even know we still do Instagram.
We have Instagram.
Yeah, we're there. You could find
I don't know how active we are on them, but we got some of
it's around. And YouTube. So if you want to catch all our videos on Dice Throne, we do have them posted up there. Both Matt and I do record our games, so we do have it uploaded onto our YouTube, which is also dmNorthTV. Go ahead.
Please feel free to correct us too when we play incorrectly, because that's how we learn. Because there's people who've played this game a lot longer than we have and played characters a lot more than we have. So I appreciate. There was one video where they did comment on stuff, and I said thank you for letting us know about this. And then I got a message on Discord about some stuff. I went, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. We are nowhere near experts on this, so we just barely really started playing with it, and there is still a lot to learn. But as any other game, right? So you get better as you play.
Yeah.
What else did I miss? I think YouTube and Twitch. We do play board games every Saturday night. So again, if you do want to join us in any board games, join our Discord. We have everything pretty much. Try to keep up to date of what we're playing on a weekly basis on Saturdays. And you're always welcome to join us there as well. So you can Twitch dmNorthTV. And that's it. Thanks again, Matt, for joining me and talking Dice Throne and Dice Masters a bit.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Always welcome here. And if that's all, until next time on a Double in Dice.